There are various types of gangs operating in Ireland at the moment in all our major cities. They are punks, mods, rockers, Teds, greasers, futuristics, new romantics, Blitz kids, skinheads, Rudie skinheads, boot boys, Hells Angels, bikers and scab boys. And we have some representatives of various gangs on the programme tonight, starting with, closest to me, a gentleman called Donnacha McDonagh, who is 20 years of age. He's unemployed. He's been a punk for 6 years. He is from Crumlin, and he is one of 11 children. Beside him, we have Siobhán Corrigan, who's 19. She's been a punk for 4 years, and she's a sales assistant. She's from Drimnagh, the eldest of 4 children. Next, we have John Fiddler, who is 20. And he's a first-year student of fashion and textiles at the National College of Art and Design. He's from Killiney, the eldest of 2 children. It says here he's been dressing strangely for 5 years. Gerard Quinn, finally, is 20. He is a mod. He's been a mod for 3 years. He's unemployed. He's from Fatima Mansions, and there are 16 children in his family. Let us talk to them a while about the sort of things that many people would think strange and what they do. For example, Donnacha. The philosophy of being punk, what's it about, Donnacha?
It's a rebellion against the old system that we were born into and we're supposed to live by. But we don't agree with today's system, so we rebel against it in our appearance, the way we dress, and the way we think, mainly.
Are you into violence, Donnacha, at all?
Well, it's centred around us because a lot of straight people have a violent attitude towards us, and everyone seems to think it's us that are the violent people, but we're not. Quite the opposite.
And how do the other members of your family, there were 11 children in the family altogether, how do they react, and how did they react when you started dressing the way you are? Well,
it reacted strangely at the start, but after a matter of years, they just kind of get used to you, so just don't think about you, you know.
And you're unemployed, I know. What do you do all day with yourself?
Not much. Not much.
Well, I mean, do you go into town every day and walk around?
Basically just stay at home, sit around.
Yes, and do you go out at night?
No, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere they let you in.
How do you mean there's nowhere they let you in?
No pubs or clubs, discotheques, nothing. They even don't let you into some restaurants.
They just won't let you in?
Just basically won't. They think you're trouble. And
well, is there anywhere in Dublin that you are allowed in?
There's one pub. That's basically it. It's on...
One pub?
Yeah.
And you all presumably foregather there then, do you?
Well, a few of us, we keep it numbers down so there's no trouble.
Yes. Well, why do it then, Donnacha, if life is made so difficult for you?
It's a challenge.
A challenge? Challenge against whom?
Against everyone around us apart from ourselves. Like anyone that tries to dictate us. We rebel against our dictation.
But they are dictating to you if they don't let you into their premises with like other people to have a drink or a disco or whatever.
It's true, yeah. But
are you into drugs?
No.
Not at all? Are punks generally into drugs?
Not really, no. Supposedly I'll try it once or twice.
Yes. Do you have trouble with the police?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like what sort of trouble?
Well, we've nowhere to go, so we generally end up standing around places like Stephen's Green, and they find us a threat, or the public find us a threat, where we just stand, think we're going to harass them or something. Mm. So the police generally come along and move you along, and then sometimes it gets complicated. Yeah. It goes from there.
But you reckon that you don't ask for trouble?
No, we don't.
Now, you've been a punk for 6 years. How long more do you think you can go on being a punk?
Till death.
Till death? And what do you live on in terms of money?
The dole.
You live on the dole?
The famous dole.
And how much money would you spend on clothes, for example, every year?
About £10, if even that.
Yeah, and do your family... I mean, what about your mother up in Crumlin now? What do you feel about her?
Not much, really. Just that she's my mother, and
yeah,
like you have your love for your mother, and that's it.
Yeah,
what way you look like doesn't change that. Like. You know.
Yes, and do you have love for your mother?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and are you good to her?
Well, to my best ability, yeah.
Yes. I mean, do you give her money every week or anything?
Ah, yeah, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Out of the dole? So how much would you say you're living on per week? Yourself now, how much money would you
About £8.
£8 quid?
If even that, some weeks.
Yes, a week. All right, now Siobhán Corrigan, good day to you. And what about your parents' attitudes? How do they react?
Well, like in the beginning, like, was shock, oh no, you know. And then, like, they thought it was like a phase I'd grow out of. So I say, give her another 3 months or 4 months, you know.
Yeah.
But, like, I've seen it's gone on so long. Like, they realised that I don't get into trouble or anything like that. And I'm hopefully not offending anybody by the way I dress. I'm doing what I enjoy. And, like, they've become used to me in a way, like, you know.
Yes, you're the eldest of 4.
I am, yeah.
And what's the reaction of your brothers and sisters to you?
Like, it all depends, like, in what kind of situation you're in. Because, like, if naturally you're being nice to them, saying, here's your money or here's some sweets or something, they're going to be, oh, great, yeah, great, you know. But, like, if you're arguing or anything with them, it's the total opposite, like, stay you and all this, you know, so.
And why do you dress the way you do? Why do you...
Well, I like the dress, for a start. And then you're being different, like, you're not just falling in with the usual crowd, like, you know. And then I feel quite comfortable in the way I dress, you know.
Yes, and what about, were you, if you were a punk for 4 years and you're 19, you must have started in school.
Yeah.
What school were you in?
Loretta College.
And you started this lark?
In school, yeah.
Yes. And what was their reaction?
Like, today I got a streak in my hair with some blue in it. I was called down to the head office. And the sister asked me had I got an operation on the side of my head. And I'm, like, we weren't allowed to wear nail varnish. They're still not. Yeah. But, like, I was wearing this bright green nail varnish from the weekend and I was trying to hide it. Like that, and I kind of went, oh. I suppose that's to match our uniform, you know, because I was wearing a green uniform, you know, so. And
were you suspended?
Well, no, I wasn't. I didn't get into much trouble over that.
Yeah, and they got used to you too, did they?
They did, yeah. They got there to live with.
Yes, so you never had any major disagreement with them. John Fiddler, first-year student of Fashion and Textiles, National College of Art and Design from Killiney, 2 children in your family. What do you consider yourself to be, John?
Well, I wouldn't call myself anything. I wouldn't put myself in any category at all. I'm just quite a normal person, really.
But I mean, under the various categories that we have of punks, mods, rockers, Teds, greasers, futuristics, new romantics, what would you be more inclined towards?
Well, I wouldn't be inclined to any of them, but just the last 5 years, whatever's gone along the last 5 years, that's what's influenced me, like music-wise or style-wise, so...
Yes.
That's what I am.
Now, you're obviously wearing eye makeup and eyeshadow and so on.
Yeah, a little bit.
And what is that in your nose?
It's a stud.
A stud, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Why particularly do you wear makeup?
Well, under these bright lights, you know, you'd show up all the spots and pimples if you didn't wear it.
But do you wear the makeup during the day?
Well, it depends. I mean, when you get up in the morning, it depends whether you want to put it on. Yeah. A bit of foundation will do you the world of good. Well, I mean, if you've ever gone into Dublin during the day, you come out and your face is just filthy. It's all black bits over it and everything, you know. But you can just wipe it all off if you've got makeup on and your skin's as fresh as a daisy.
That's what about your parents' reaction to you in Killiney, John? What was...
I don't know what in Killiney's got to do with it. But yes, they thought it was a phase I was going through. And so did I, but something happened, so it's not a phase. But I'm still growing, so I'm only young.
So, well, I mean, do you live at home?
I do, yeah.
Yes, and what do your parents ever discuss this? Do you think they're upset about it, or do they?
No, they know what I'm like. I mean, my hair is. Well, I mean, that's just my hair, you know. They know what kind of a person I am.
Yes.
That's what matters.
And do you think they worry about neighbours and other
Oh, yeah,
people?
they do, of course.
Do they?
But, I mean, that's the neighbours' fault for sort of making them worry in the first place.
Yes. Do you have to work? Do you have to work hard to get your hair like that, John? Or?
Well, it depends what kind of a hurry I'm in. Like, I've had time to do it for tonight. Of course, I've done it especially for you. I wouldn't wear this to breakfast. It would take too long to make. Like,
you wouldn't wear it to breakfast, you know? Yes.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, thank you for making the effort for the late show.
I thought I'd give you something that would be exciting.
Yes, indeed. Well, Now, Gerard Quinn, you're 20, a mod for 3 years, and you're unemployed, and I know you like the mods. Do all mods ride Vespas?
Well, if you have the money, you ride a Vespa gig.
Yeah. How much is a Vespa running at now in cash?
Well, they're all different prices. Well, say like 1,400.
£1,400. And then how much are you stung for insurance on that?
£400.
Yeah. What is the thing about Vespas? And I mean, specifically Vespas. There are other scooters on the market, but you all ride Vespas. Why that?
Because you can't get a Lambretta in this country.
Oh. See, that's lateral thinking. I never thought of that. I thought there was somebody still bringing in the old Lambrettas. That's it.
Well,
now,
there will be.
You are remarkably clean cut in your hair and style and so on, compared with the others. Explain that to me.
That's all about being a mod. It's well dressed. It's a style. Like in the 60s, you know, like mod came out around 64, 63. And ever since then, you know, like, it's always been the same. Nothing has really changed about it. It's only that up to today now, 1980s, the clothes are getting more stylish. But we basically, you know, dress on the 60s. We go by music by the 60s. Things like that. And the scooters.
Yeah.
Go for runs.
Yes.
Like in the 60s, mods go away on a weekend. Like over in England, there in the 60s, to go to Brighton, Scarborough and all like this.
Yeah.
But over here, we can't do that. So we either go to Tramore, down the country, like Galway, Limerick, Carlow, Cork, tour around on the scooters.
In a bunch?
Yes.
About how many of you in a bunch?
About 70 or 80 scooters. We meet up from different counties.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. De Bono, what is...
I think you take it in levels. I mean, everyone wears something they want to wear. I mean, you wear the colour of tie you want to wear, I wear the suit I want to wear. I don't see that this is that different. I think it's someone who wants to express themselves in what they wear. The interesting thing, I think, is that in wanting to show that you're different, to externalize your feeling of being alienated, wanting to be different, I think the interesting point is whether, if we take three things, there's the conformist, often because he's too lazy to be anything else. I mean, as we've seen, being different requires quite a lot of effort. Then there's the eccentric, who really is an eccentric, who really is just doesn't care about anything. But I think here it's really belonging to another group. It's opting out of the major group, but really in a sense belonging to another group. And that's the interesting point, whether rebellion is a personal thing or whether rebellion is belonging to a group, which is a rebel group. Yes. In other words, whether one needs the friends around you in order to support that.